Okay. Good evening. We will now call tonight's work session for Monday, December 14th to order. Thank you all for joining. The first item on tonight's agenda is the approval of the November 9th work session meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Rout. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Seconded by Councilmember Lundy. Is there any discussion regarding the minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. I am getting a little bit of feedback, and I hope it's not coming through to the live audience. If so, I will try to be conscious of that. At this time, we'll turn the agenda over to Mr. Tonelli to walk us through the CARES Act funding.
Where we left off at the November 23rd meeting, we identified everything, 92% of the funding that where we were going to be, and there's 8% left over that we're going to prioritize to the PPE. We had some suggestions there, and also to information technology, and to our food program. Well, I call it a food program, but our grocery gift card program, which is in full swing. And right now, we are within a couple $1,000s of finishing the grant, or identify expenses to finish the grant. The ambulance purchase, which was approved last time, I'm just waiting on the final price. Specs change a tiny bit, but I don't think it's going to affect the final price. Because it was very similar specs, and I'm waiting to hear hopefully that by this evening. And this money has to be spent by tomorrow, so we're down to the wire. And what we didn't use for the communications equipment, for the communications equipment, we're going ahead and going to apply that to the public safety salaries. Just to get this grant spent out by tomorrow. And I have a chart here that projected where we are going to end up. If I can share, just so the public will see. Let's see if I can share it on my side here. Maybe not. Give me 1 second, please. I'm going to see.
Sure. Mr. Tonelli, do you see the tab for share?
Yes, I have 20 windows open, so I think it's too many for it to itemize. I'm going to try it again. Let's close some out.
And beyond that, I will defer to my colleague, Councilmember Rout, because she is the expert on this system.
You all see it?
Can everyone see Mr. Tonelli's screen?
Is it the
Yes.
is it the pie chart?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Thank you. So this is where we're projecting to end up. You can see 3/4 of the CARES Act funding is going towards salaries. Salaries and associated expenses. Associated expenses are the FICA tax. So that's 74% right there. And then 14% is to the cab and chassis for the ambulance. And you can see where we're going to end up on the other smaller but no less important items. The PPE is at $15,757, and Sean and I and Chief and Purnell and I are working on. We're down to like the last $1,900 to find expenses, to find what we need for tomorrow. But we will get that done, and that does include the gaiters that we talked about, and also some other PPE, which includes gloves, cleaning supplies, first aid kits, and something else that we applied for is we have the big backpack electrostatic sprayer. It's a big backpack unit, battery powered. fill it full of solution, has a wand. We got that for Public Works to disinfect the buildings. Okay, it covers a broad area. Okay, so they come through, they can walk down the hallway, walk in the offices. What we also purchased were two smaller handheld units. Instead of waiting for Public Works to come in and do a deep cleaning, these are smaller, portable, battery-powered handheld units, more for smaller spaces, offices, vehicles, especially if police department brings in somebody and they want to disinfect their vehicles. We have that capability. And we're also going to purchase one for the fire department as well, to disinfect their ambulance, fire trucks, because they have a lot of traffic in them as well. And that qualifies. We're already purchasing the ambulance cabin chassis. We thought that is a good expense to for our fire department here, who responds to our residents and businesses. But we still have less than a couple $1,000 left over to purchase, and we're really trying to find what we really need. And but we're going to finalize that tomorrow. Cleaning we talked about. We had a couple deep cleanings already, but and that's at 0% there because it's such a small amount of 575,000. That's prior to us buying our own cleaning apparatus, I want to call it. Public outreach, that is going to be for the postcards that we already sent out, and also for the mass communication system, the text message system, which I have on the agenda tonight as well to review. It's a pretty cool product. It's inexpensive and it gets the word out to the public. So that's where we're going to end up. It's getting down to the wire, and so I don't know if anybody has any questions, comments. And the food program is up and going. I'm going to defer that over to questions on that one over to the chief, since our CAT team is handling that. And it sounds like we have a pretty good demand, and we're hoping that's all finalized or getting finalized. So we're getting a lot of calls about it, and it sounds like there's a lot of traffic being directed there.
So,
Yes,
Mr.
access
Tonelli,
time. Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I was just going to ask Mr. Tonelli, just to clarify, could you just give us the remaining totals again that make up the 8%? I know it was a lot in there, but I just want to make sure we're all clear, because there was a new item since the November 23rd meeting that you mentioned with the cleaning devices for the vehicles, which I think is a good idea, but want to, give the
That
council a chance to
was,
weigh in.
yeah, that was going to go towards our PPE.
Okay.
That's an expense towards our PPE, because at the last meeting, I asked for leeway in prioritizing, the final 8% to prioritize the PPE, and our town attorney said anything left over should go to public safety salaries. So
No, no. Our town attorney is our attorney. She advises us, but the mayor and council has the decision-making authority, I thought,
yeah,
at our last meeting.
If I could just clarify also from the last meeting on November 23rd, Mr. Tonelli, I do recall you were asking for some discretion and leeway to go ahead and allocate the remaining 8%, but the council did not authorize that. The request, and I think it was Councilmember Rout who made the request that you come back to us with the recommendations for the remaining 8%.
okay.
Sorry if that
No, that's
wasn't
fine.
clear before, but
I
is
do have the recommendations. I'm sorry. Yeah, I put that ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so again, I just want to make sure that council is clear. So the dollar amount you're looking at for the PPE, can you give that to us once more, please?
Yes, can I'm trying to unshare this so I can see. Give me 1 second. Okay, does everybody still see the chart up, or are we back?
The chart is still showing.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, stop sharing. Okay, thank you. Okay, okay, so the final, so we were at 92% last meeting, and give me 1 second. I'm trying to share this one, okay? So just give me 1 minute, please. And should I have a practice session first?
You're fine, Mr. Tonelli. Sometimes it takes a bit to transition,
Yeah, it does. I'm
when
sorry.
you're selecting the different settings.
E26. Oh, I'm sorry. You gotta give me 1 more minute. Where are you? Aha, okay. Let me share this now. My apologies. I'm getting used to this, you all.
We're learning. These are part of
It's just
the
frustrating. It's just frustrating.
process. Don't worry.
Okay, is it this one? Can we see it? Town Bladensburg updated coronavirus spending plan. Does everybody see that?
Just make it a little bit bigger because it's like real small. And when you do it, be slow because WebEx doesn't like Excel. I don't know why they don't like each other. But
Okay.
just when you increase it at the bottom at 100%, just do it slow.
I did too fast a bit. Is that good?
It didn't move.
No, it's the same.
It's the
And
same.
just,
But
yeah, and it says the spreadsheet is Bladensburg Cares Grant Activity 12/1/20.
if you try unsharing it, yeah, take it back and then blow it up and then
There you go.
putting it up there.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, sometimes it's I don't know why WebEx and Teams doesn't like Excel. I don't know why. It's just part of that.
Oh, we talking about lacing a kicker. This thing goes 10 times slower. Any better, Ms. Rout?
So, but let's go ahead. It's small, but it's okay. I can see.
We'll work with it, Mr.
Yeah,
Tonelli.
we'll work.
Okay. This was what we agreed upon last meeting. I'm going to scroll up and down. I don't know how fast the scrolling goes, but this yellow column is what we talked about last meeting. This was going to be for what's in our plan. That's at 92% that we were at as of last meeting. And there was some savings. There was, because the ambulance quote came in lower at 78,665. It was originally at 87,970. So there were some funds left over there, that $9,305. I really hope you all can see this. Sean, can you see this on your side? Thank you. Okay, good. These are my notes over here, so don't mind them. And the communications equipment, which is a telephone system, we were going to defer until we could have more time to investigate and make sure. It's a lot of specs to go with the phone system, and there's a lot more, I think, than we realize, and probably a lot more than a couple of the vendors realize. So we're going to take our time with that and just not rush it because we have the funds. We're going to do it right because it is a long-term investment. The current phone system we talked about has probably been in the 2000s at least. So we had already purchased PPE products, and we had already purchases in place, and we had some unexpended balance over here, the $7,000 for PPE, and we also had some unencumbered funds over here for the deep cleaning, which is the sprayers that we talked about, and we also had some unencumbered funds for information technology and the public outreach. We're going to go ahead and use that money for our engineer, our AV engineer, to help live stream our meetings once we go live. Now, over here in this blue column, were funds still unexpended. And that's where we had the $7,000 left over for PPE, which we were talking about, which we identified what we wanted to do. The sanitizing and sprayer for the deep cleaning. We have funds left over here for information technology, which we already identified that we need to upgrade our switches. I talked about that last meeting. Our IT company wants us. We're going through the whole phone system thing, and we found out we are running on old switches. Switches are the internet or the network backbone. Okay, so we have two switches in our server room, and they are old technology, and you can have the fastest computers on your network, but they only run as quick as the slowest piece. And unfortunately, those are the slowest piece. And those are what the new phone system will be running on too. So we need to upgrade those. And so we have the savings over here for the communications equipment and the savings from the ambulance, which is combined around $34,000. And what I want to come back to the mayor and council with was to apply that to public safety salaries, because we are down to a day left of the grant. And those salaries have already been expended. We don't have to go out and purchase something to get reimbursed for it. We've already spent that money. That money is already part of our expenditures all the way through November 30th on the financials I gave you. So that's not something that we have to go out and shop for, get quotes for, get bids for, and everything else. Any leftover funding I would like to apply to that. And again, that is to reimburse us for an expense that we already have incurred. So if anything, it will help our budget because we're not going out to purchase something, then get reimbursed for it, come in, going out. This is already gone out, and we can get reimbursed, so it helps our finances. And I'm going to stop here. I'm going to wait for the mayor and council to weigh in.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Tonelli. So I'll start with Councilmember Rout. And Mr. Tonelli, I tried to alert you. So the screen, because it's so small, we could only see the yellow columns. I know you were speaking to the blue columns, and I remember that document from the November 23rd meeting.
I'm adjusting.
It's okay. I just wanted you to be aware we couldn't see the blue columns, but I'll turn it over to Councilmember Rout and then Councilmember Blunt.
Thank you, Mayor James. I am understanding of the CARES Act funding to date. I do have a few recommendations, and I know we have only one day. And so I wanted to just make a suggestion. I sent a video to you, Acting Town Administrator Tonelli, of a box that I do have present with me, a sample box that I received from another municipality in the state of Maryland. And in this box has a kit for residents. And if it's at all possible, I think with COVID numbers coming up, and I understand the reimbursement and how we have already expensed things, but this is a very trying time. We are at the highest rate we have ever been in the United States of America. In this box is a Lysol wipes, masks, a digital thermometer, a forehead thermometer, gloves, hand sanitizer, and some antibacterial soap. And so I do think that we, if it's at all possible, should look into something, maybe a box that's already put together, because I'm not sure if we can be able to get our hands on something like this. But to protect our residents, are protecting our frontline workers, which are police department, our public safety that's going out. And I just think that this is something that we should consider. I yield back.
Hey, council member. Was that sent to you from another municipality?
So I participated in a COVID test in
Okay.
another county, in another municipality, that I have a relationship with.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I mean, did they give you any like costing info,
So-
anything?
So they put this together themselves.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
purchased it and they
Uh,
put the boxes together. But I was speaking with another member of the council that I think raised her hand as well. And I think that she may have another idea. So that's why I wanted to just yield so that she
I
can
think
be
that's,
able to.
yeah, I think that's great. I think that's great.
Great. Thank you, Councilmember Rao. Councilmember Blunt?
Yeah, it was me, Jocelyn. I was letting Jocelyn know I went to Giant because we give out gifts to our residents, and Giants have a kit already made. They have a $5 kit and they have a $10 kit with your hand sanitizer, your mask, your gloves, and a couple more things in a kit. The kit's already made, and I think it'd be well worth buying these kits for the residents because I have a copy of your pie. And the CARES Act seemed like it went more to town hall and the staff, more so the residents of the town. I think they should get a piece of the pie too. But if you look at this pie, everything staff, this is all staff. Nothing to do with our town. And during this time, I really think that they need these kits. So however you all do it, you can go out and buy those tomorrow from Giants. So they like you got to go get bids. They're $5 kits and they're $10 kits.
Okay.
I mean, but I did have something else to say, but I'm just staying on this because can I go on to the next thing that I wanted to talk about? I'm still looking at the food assistance at 14,000, but I still don't see where the money was spent. So I really need some clarifications. I know the $7,000 or the 10,000 or whatever we did for the food cards, but I'm still saying 14,000. And it's just not making sense to me. If you can explain why is it 14,000? We have receipts for 14,000 worth of food that we purchased or we're going to purchase. I mean, we only addressed the gift cards, but not that whole 14,000. I don't see where that money. What did we spend? Well, what did we spend it on? I just don't see it.
Thank you, Councilmember Blunt. Mr. Tonelli, do you mind addressing the question regarding?
Yeah, that was for the whole gift card program, the 14,950. That was the 14,950. That was in the grant. And that was for the Are we good so far? That was a 10,000 we said we're going to put in last meeting, but also that 4950 that was already reported previously for the protein packs, but shouldn't have been out of the mayor and council budget because that came from the senior picnic money
Yes.
deferred. And we have, give me 1 second, I'm going to pull this up here.
And Mr. Tonelli, while you're bringing that up, Councilmember Blunt, I don't, if I'm recalling correctly, I don't think it came to 2,500 even, which would have got us to 5,000. I think it was like just under that, like
Yeah.
2,400 something.
Like 2475.
So that's why it looks
Yeah.
weird that it's not an even 15,000. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that would be a difference from whatever the gift cards, I don't know, I guess Chief would talk about that, whatever the gift cards cost, and so that would be a savings, am I not correct? Because if I'm looking at 14,950 and whatever the gift cards cost, and we didn't spend any money on food, that would be a savings there as well. Right?
Councilmember, can you
Oh,
fill that?
Councilmember Rout, I see your hand. Councilmember Rout.
So if we are doing 300 cards at the rate of $50 each, that is 15,000. So,
Do that yet.
right. But that was what we had elected to spend. That was what we had voted upon. Because yes, we got some savings from the protein packs, but we replaced that with the gift card, the gift card relief. So whatever that money was for the protein packs, that's gone because we couldn't use that because that was already budgeted.
Right.
So with that money plus the total that was already in that budgeted line item was 14 and some change, whatever Mr. Tonelli put in there. And so what we asked for was 300 gift cards, 150 for Ward 1, 150 for Ward 2. That's totaling 15,000.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is that what we spent?
We have, okay, so the gift cards, when we order them, we're going to have to go out and buy a few more to round it up to that 14,950 because when you order that many, you get a discount. So I can show, yeah, exactly. Because Chief came to me, was it Friday, I think, and said, we got to buy some more because they came in with a discount. And I'll show you what it was. Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to try this again, everybody, okay?
Vito, if I could chime in while you pulling that up.
Do you all see the thing for UNFI 14,265? Yes. So that is the gift card program, less a discount. And Chief, yes, please fill me in, please.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Council, community, and staff. So when we purchased the 300 cards, we had to send the whole check there. But when we asked for the 300, they gave us a discount. We had $785 left over. $785 was left over. And today, which I had in my report for later, today we only had 157 people registered.
Ooh.
And so that's 86 for Ward 1 and 71 for Ward 2. So, but we still had to pay the whole amount for the cards. So hopefully we will be able to come up with another event where we can help the residents again until we deplete all of the cards.
Well, I didn't know we were going to do it that way. We was going to find out the number of gift cards so that we won't have gift cards laying around. That was my last understanding. We didn't want to have that many gift cards laying around. So I thought we were going to wait and see how many people actually chime into it and then get those many gift cards. So now it's like you went out and purchased the whole amount and you're going to hold them anyway to give them out to who and at what event. And can we know what event that is before you give those cards out?
Right, but if I can just for clarification, I did raise that was Mr. Tonelli's recommendation that we do the registration to see how many people we had, and then the council said no, we put 15,000 aside for those cards, and we should go ahead and get them because Mr. Tonelli did not have the authority to control the cards.
No,
So you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think believe Ms. Councilmember Rout raised that issue that we will spend the $15,000 for the total amount of cards.
So
Chief,
on the meeting,
Councilmember Rout?
yeah. So on the meeting, that was my understanding. Because Mr. Tonelli, yes, did want the residents to register first. But what I was saying at the meeting was that the town council already voted, like it's already set in stone for this $15,000. So it locked us in to that $15,000. So we would have to go out and procure it unless there is, something else. So yes, I do recall that, Chief Collinson. And so it just sounds like coronavirus is still going on, the pandemic is going on, and
And there
it's a
will be need.
possibility that we can have another opportunity for our residents. I'm sure that our police department has a safe that we can lock them in a safe. They lock all sorts of kinds of things in safes all the time, like guns and drugs, if they, get them off the street. And so we just gotta, look how many cards we expensed. And I'm sure that our police department, in collaboration with our acting town administrator, is going to do a fine job with looking into those cards. I mean, that's what we voted on, and our residents, maybe for New Year's, we will have an opportunity for them to go buy some greens and some peas, and they could, have a New Year's socially distant situation. I mean, we had already voted upon that. So it's still going to be for our residents and for the need. It just won't all be expensed on the date that we desire to expense it. So it sounds like we got some engagement work to do to get these cards into the hands of the residents that need it. I yield back.
Thank you,
Yes.
Councilmember Rout. And just to wrap this up, I do agree with what my colleagues have stated. We may have only heard from a small number of people, but we have many more residents that we have not heard from who are hurting. And so I would agree, we just need to do round two. And in round two of the program, we state very clearly that if you have already benefited from it, you're ineligible. We want to reach, residents who did not get included in this first round. But I would agree that's the amount that was authorized. The staff did what they were supposed to do, which was to spend that amount on these gift cards. So
Hey,
I
Mayor.
do appreciate that clarification. Yes, Mr. Tonelli.
Chief, how long has the program been up? Like about 10 a week, 10 days? I mean, roughly.
Yes, it just closed on the 11th.
Yeah.
Registration closed on the 11th. So I mean, if we did that in 1 week, we did 157. I'm sure we could do it again, and the rest of the cars we'll get rid of the rest of the cars because we expect COVID these situations to start another round, even though they just released the vaccine, but we still have residents that are in need. So we did 157 in 1 week. I'm sure we do a second round. Those cars will be gone.
Okay, but it would be done the same way and not just given out willy-nilly. It'll be done the same way. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, and thank you for that question, Councilmember Blunt, because we do have to be consistent. The same way people have to register, they have to, give their information, validate that they are in need. We have to, for record keeping purposes, be consistent when we roll this out again. So thank you all for those questions. If there's nothing else, we'll move on to the next update, which I'll try to summarize just briefly. In our last council meeting, work session, or it was actually the council meeting, we shared that the Prince George's County delegation was having their hearing It got moved from November up to December 3rd, just due to some technical issues with the platform that they were using. And Ms. Susan McCutcheon, who heads up the Bladensburg effort against the maglev, did testify in the hearing, as well as myself, and they had quite a number of people for and against, as is to be expected. But I just wanted to bring to the council's attention, and I did share it in the email just before the meeting, the letter that Ms. McCutcheon provided as a template. It's for organizations asking for an extension on the review of the environmental impact study, and wanted to find out from the council if you all are interested in submitting a letter similar to what Landover Hill submitted. If so, I can, work with Ms. McCutcheon to draft something that we send on behalf of the town, just requesting additional time. As Ms. McCutcheon pointed out, that statement is several thousand pages long, and the review time that they're giving is just not realistic. And I just think it's only fair that we request more time from the state agencies who have jurisdiction over this project. So any questions with pursuing a letter in favor of requesting additional time for the environmental impact statement review? Okay. Thank you all. So again, I'll get a draft back over to you all and just ask for any further feedback. Mr. Tonelli, the next items fall under new business, and the first one being the health insurance renewal.
The health insurance renewal, we currently have Care First, and I'm going to talk a little bit as I'm pulling this up, everybody. And we've had Care First for a number of years. The reason is Care First is the largest provider in the state that has the most comprehensive coverage, and the employees have been on it, and we haven't had any issues with it, thankfully. There's question, can we go to Kaiser? Well, Kaiser is like a real small network, and we have employees pretty much all over the state. Not all over the state, but, Southern Maryland, Eastern Shore. We even have a couple in Delaware, or at least one in Delaware, up and down the 95 corridor and everything. We normally, it automatically renews. And I didn't have time to shop it this year, unfortunately. We shopped it before, and the other competing plan people didn't really like, and that is it's the old MAMSI plan. Help me out. It's the
Is that United Healthcare?
Yeah, thank you. I call it MAMSI. I mean, that was the old plan, but United Healthcare, and we had some people say it's just, they've had bad experiences with it. I've had it before. I've had both plans. But getting back to this, I'm going to share the screen again. Gosh, I hope this works. Hope this works.
Mr. Tonelli, I just have to let you know I'm offended that I remember MAMSI. That's going back like 25 years.
I know. And before that, and what was the name before that? Quick, Optimum Choice. So.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try to share a screen for everybody here so the public can see as well. Okay, what does the screen say on your side? Insurance renewal?
It is partially grayed out, and we can see a few fields in the far left column.
I'm going to use Councilmember Route's.
Her suggestion?
Yeah.
Okay. And Mr. Tonelli,
next time I'm going to do a dry run with everybody, and then I'm going to tell Rick to record. Okay. I'm sorry.
Just take your time, though. Don't click too fast, because I think it gets confused if you're a clicker like me and you go too quickly, it just kind of gets you confused.
Councilmember Route, when I scroll, will it show? Well, we're going to try it. How's that? I just put my head down now and walk away.
No, it's not you. It's the system.
I know, but
Already. The
yeah.
system hates Excel, and I have no idea why. It's the system.
Mr.
Okay.
Tonelli, is it possible for you to save the sheet as a PDF and then show it?
Genius. Yes.
Okay. Because that just takes a picture of it and it'll come up easier.
Problem is, while I'm doing this, I'm watching the clock. It's cutting into the meeting time, unfortunately. All right.
Okay, so while you're,
yeah, go
are
ahead.
you almost there? Or if not, I was gonna say, I did fail to mention one thing. So in talking with Ms. McCutcheon, the other thing that we were discussing about MagLab is having our next community meeting, because it has been a while and we do want residents to be informed and have an opportunity to ask questions of those who are advocating against it, but even of the project developer. So we threw out some dates for late January, probably January 30th, just to give more time to get the word out to the community. But if you all could just let me know if that works for you. We were thinking of doing it on a Saturday morning, 10, 11-ish, via Zoom or WebEx. So we'll keep everyone posted, but just wanted to mention that. And you're starting to share your content. Perfect timing.
Is it coming up? Do you see health insurance renewal? Thank you. I need a win every now and then. Okay, so here's a breakdown. We have a silver plan. Our silver plan is an HSA plan. You can see that we have 15 employees on a plan with 23 dependents, and everybody can see the screen, right? Okay. Can you see my mouse when I do this? Okay. So the previous rate prior to renewal was 149,311. With the renewal billing, it's going to be 152,591. It's a 2.2% increase, which in health insurance terms, great, beautiful. I budgeted 6%. We also have a platinum plan. Platinum plan costs employees a little bit more, and you can see that this is popular for, I want to say, for employees with more employees with single coverage, because once you start adding dependent coverage, spousal coverage, it starts getting expensive. It's twice as much as, or about 75 to 100%, almost twice as much as a silver plan. You can see that we have 27 employees enrolled with 25 dependents. Previous bill, the previous rate was 363,000. Renewal rate's 372,000, or a 3.25% increase. Combined, you can see in the blue field down here, is less than a 3% increase. So the budget is 6%. We have pretty good savings there, but this is, the big asterisk is that this is as of today's enrollment. I don't expect it to change much. And you can see where I projected our insurance to be as of today. And I'm projecting savings of almost $64,000 at the end of the fiscal year with this renewal. So there's something I want to make the council aware of. It's something that, previously this wasn't brought to the council. I started bringing this to the council a couple of years ago because it is a big expense. It's budgeted, but thankfully we're always under budget. And we also get around a $10,000, $10,000 to $20,000 rebate from Care First as well annually. That's not included in here, because when it comes in as a rebate, we record as revenues, because income is income, expenses are expenses. So including that $10,000 to $20,000, the projected savings could be over $75,000 this fiscal year. Sounds great, but we also had some, we went a few months with some vacancies as well, which adds to this as well. So I just want to make the council aware of it, and I'm asking, for the council to go ahead and say, okay, let's go ahead with the renewal. If there's any
Great, thank you.
questions.
Thank you, Mr. Tonelli. Are there any questions from the council? Councilmember Lundy, I can't see you on my screen. I just want to make sure. Did you have any questions? Okay. Councilmember Mendoza? Councilmember Rout?
I like savings, and so this looks really good. Thank you.
It came
Thank
in
you,
a lot.
Councilmember.
And like I said, it came in a lot better than I thought. And when I saw it, I'm like, again, waiting for the dust to settle with, with everything going on. So this helps. This really does help. And it's a good benefit, and it's a good benefit that we market to prospective employees too, because we do have really good health plans, and it's one of those things. It's part of that whole benefit compensation package. You try to market to keep employees, and not only that, but to bring in prospective employees too.
Thank you, Mr. Tonelli. Councilmember Blunt, any questions from you? No? Okay. So I'm assuming this is on our agenda for the 7 o'clock meeting, Mr. Tonelli?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect, thank you. And then the next item is also over to you, annual leave payout.
This is only a proposal. We haven't done this before. This is something new. And if it's something that we think is, I'm going to try to share this, everybody. Big question is this in small print? Can you all read this? You can read this fine? So Word works well, but not Excel. You're right about that. Okay. Again, this is something new. It's not in the personnel manual. I don't know if this will get any traction or not. It's just something I want to put out there. So if it's accepted, great. If not, this is only proposal, just something to talk about. What happened is, what's going on? Oh, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We have higher than normal accumulations of leave at the end of the calendar year. I sent out also, I can share this, our employee manual only allows 360 hours of annual leave carryover at the end of the year and 80 hours of comp time at the end of the year. But the town administrator can extend that for 90 days. From the end of March through the end of June, we were on a public safety side was on a leave hold, meaning that during the state of emergency, employees couldn't take leave because everybody is full hands on deck. So employees are earning time. And since the end of the state of emergency, Chief, help me out. I think at one point in the summertime, we had 7 vacancies. Is that correct? At some point?
We had 8 vacancies.
8 vacancies. So you're on a leave hold for 3 months, and then we're trying to backfill positions and cover shifts. So what's happened is people are accruing leave and accruing leave and accruing leave, and they can't take off. And they keep accruing leave, and it builds a liability on our book. We pay it now or pay it later. Okay, so I talked to another county, and I got the idea from another county and a utility. They offer a one-time leave payout. Actually, the county offers a biannual leave payout, but you can cash in up to 40 hours of your leave, not take it off, but get paid for it as a benefit. Now, again, this is something new, okay? I want to bring this up, but we have 12 employees now that are at that threshold of combined hours or will be, and it's going to be difficult for them to take. And it's difficult because we are a small organization. It is difficult sometimes to take off because everybody has to backfill and everything. So the suggestion is to offer this to the employees that have high accumulated balances. That's about about a quarter of our employees. But the financial impact is we are paying it out. Okay, we are paying it out. Even though it comes off our books, it reduces that liability. We are still paying that out. Again, it's pay it now or pay it later. Okay, so I did a calculation, and to pay that out, if the mayor and council wants to do it, the financial impact would be about $16,000, and it would reduce those leave balances. The concern is, does it affect everybody? No. It's only affecting the people with the high balances. And, and I just don't think half those people are even going to be able to use a leave if I do give them another 90 days, because at the end of 90 days, they're still going to be up at that high amount. And again, we're a small organization, so
Leo, can I chime in?
yeah, please.
Okay, in the Prince George's County, we're faced with the similarity, but what the county did, the county executive, she issued an order that for the next year, this year, if you have anything over 360, you lose it. Or, well, automatically goes into your sick bank, actually. So what she did was she authorized it to go to 440, so use it till next year.
What's the 440? What was that? The 440?
Instead of 360, she raised it to 440. So that's another 80 hours that she added for the next year. So you won't lose it. It'll be you won't lose anything over 360. You start losing up to over 440.
Understood.
And Councilmember Mendoza, one of the questions I wrote down when I was reviewing the summary earlier was I wanted to hear from you, Councilmember Blunt, as well as Councilmember Rout, on what your jobs do, just to get some other ideas on options that might exist. So Councilmember Blunt, does your job have a similar policy or a different one? Oh, you're muted. There we go.
You use or you lose. You lose it if you don't use it. And the employer just have to tell their staff to take off because you pay them money for something. You use or you lose. That's what mine is. Use or lose.
And Councilmember Blunt, have they ever increased the limit just for the carryover, or has it just been steady since you've been there?
Use or lose.
Okay.
Because they really, because I have to do that now. I'm going to wind up losing. But that's really my fault because I could have took off a couple of days through the years because I know I always have a high number. So you snooze, you lose. But to pay somebody all that money,
And thank you, Councilmember Blunt. Councilmember Rout, with the District of Columbia, can you share what you all do?
Trying to pull up the policy right now. We too have an extension. I am actually on one of those employees that has overage and are use or lose. And they did not offer us a payout. They did highly recommend that we pay into the sick bank. I don't know if we have a sick bank. But they highly recommended that you just, generously give to the sick bank as well. And then we have an extension. We have a year extension for our use or lose. But I can forward the policy once I find it. I'm not seeing it, like my finger's not that quick. But it is similar to Prince George's County where there is just an extension. Because I know for sure the District of Columbia is already taking a huge hit, and we just don't have the cash on hand to be paying out. I yield back.
Thank you for that. Councilmember Lundy?
Yes, and that's interesting that ever since I've been retired now, going on 3 years, that has been the policy, you use it, you lose it, or you use it. But I like what the county has done and being gracious to the 80 hours extension. I mean, for the leave time, but yeah, that's the normal practice. So maybe if we had a sick bank, that's what we would do too, we would give to the sick bank. So if we had that would be nice. We could add that to our personnel policy. We don't already have it.
And Mr. Tonelli, and I'm sorry, Councilmember Lundy, thank you for that feedback. I know in the case of our organization, when you donate to the sick bank, you do get compensated something, and I'd have to look up the policy to see exactly what, but just so you're not getting nothing. So I can share that with you, but I'm feeling more inclined to follow the lead of Prince George's County based on what I'm hearing from my colleagues, that maybe we need to increase that limit for the next year, um, up from the 360 hours to give people plenty of flexibility so they can actually utilize the time that they've earned. Because the reality is, it's not their fault that we have a pandemic and that they weren't allowed to take time off for 90 days plus. And we don't want to come across like we're not supporting the staff and, unappreciative for them working all those crazy hours when we were under the stay-at-home order. But also just being sensitive to the finances, definitely understand where the council is coming from. And it sounds like there would be more buy-in for just giving them another year and increasing that amount as Councilmember Mendoza suggested. I'm seeing heads nodding. Um,
Can I add one
yes.
thing?
Mhm.
I think Councilmember Rao wanted to say something. I think I'm pointing to you over there, but if yeah, no, you go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Councilmember Rao. Sorry, with these boxes,
I
they
know
keep
it's
shifting on me. So please, if I don't see you all, it's not intentional. It's like you're here and then something
And you
happens and
move.
people are moved around. And then when the presentation was up, people were off screen, so I couldn't see Councilmember Lundy and how to scroll over. So we're learning. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, I was able to access the policy. There's the automatic rollover for employees that have over 240 annual leaves or 40 universal leave hours. Um, their restored leave from 2020 will expire in 2023. So we did 2 years. We will automatically restore any excess leave to separate leave account for employees' use in leave years 21 and 22. So they gave us 2 whole years because based on the projections of how the vaccine, herd immunity, a lot of people who are on the front line will not even be able to access or use their leave in 21 as well. So I pulled it up. I'm forwarding it to you all right now.
wow, that is generous.
That is, and actually, Councilmember Rao, you touched on something that I was actually concerned about. Just seeing how the numbers are going up and not really understanding or having a crystal ball to know where we're going to be by the end of January or February, we could very well be in the same position where, before the winter is over, where we're under stay at home again and staff are in a position where they're accruing and can't take time off again. So just curious to know, would the council be interested in giving that additional flexibility, just knowing that a year may not be enough if we have another stay at home between this winter and spring like we had back in late March and April going into May.
Yeah, again, this is just something, just put pen to paper, try to, address a problem that we're seeing. So I'm up for suggestions, so it's, it doesn't have to be a payout. I just don't want people, as you said, Mayor, penalized because we were at that stay at home. I mean, during the emergency, then also we're short staff, so it's, but yeah, I like it all. So anything that, council agrees to.
Great, so we'll need a formal motion and vote in the council meeting. And I believe you have it on the council meeting
Financial
agenda.
business, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions or comments before we move forward?
Well, I just want to say thank you, everybody, because that's like, that was huge. I didn't think, I wasn't sure if that's going to fly or not. So it's, but it's,
Great. Thank you, Mr. Tonelli. And then the next agenda item, over to you, Councilmember Rout.
Yes, I have unfortunately received a lot of complaints from residents as it relates to the town's responsiveness. And in defense of our town staff, I have shared that we are down 3+ positions. Our acting our town administrator, you know, we are down. In addition, our clerk, we are down, and our grant writer, we are down in a position, and we are attempting to hire for those positions, but there is a level of responsibility that we have to meet the needs of our residents. Our residents are relying upon the municipality staff that and elected officials to respond promptly to their request. And I just wanted to maybe just take some suggestions on how we can improve our efficiency as it relates to the needs of our residents. For example, there were postings on Nextdoor that residents were attempting to contact our front office, and there was no one answering the phone. Another council member was able to respond back and try to mitigate that issue by contacting our chief of police and, you know, our police department, because they're there 24/7. But this is not the first time. In addition, there have been residents that have reached out to me in dire need of information. Anxiety is high for people. People are stuck at home. They are experiencing isolation. And so if our residents are reaching out, we need to come up with a plan to be able to accommodate their needs. So I understand we're down. I understand that we have, you know, people have to take lunches and we may not be able to be at the table, but we have to do something. That same for responding to emails. Residents have stated that there are emails that they email and there may not be a response, or there may be a response. So what is our universal response as the town of Bladensburg? Are we going to suggest that we will respond within 24 hours or the next business day? Are we going to let our residents know when they send written correspondence that we are in receipt of their email and we're looking into it and giving a time, but to react with nothing, that leaves our residents who rely upon us to produce. And so it's been going on for quite some time. So I wanted to talk about it and come up with a proposed plan on how we can meet our residents' needs. I yield back.
Thank you, Councilmember Rout. Mr. Tonelli, let me know. I know we had a conversation about this in the last closed session with you and Chief Collington, and wondering if we need to schedule another closed session, since it is personnel related, to go into what that plan looks like and how to staff up, if you will, and formulate, you know, the overall plan and what it's going to take.
Yeah, and
I don't
that's
want to get into a personnel discussion
no,
in the
no.
open
I
meeting,
mean,
but
Councilmember Rout does bring up some really great points, and I did share the mayor and council previous closed session. I think it was a month ago, about, you know, a staffing plan for the front office. But hearing those concerns talked out, just wrote down some things. Larger jurisdictions, or even smaller jurisdictions, they have like a PIO, a public information officer, or an ombudsman. Right now, you know, I rely on the chief and the CAT program, you know, to get back to people, but that's on their side. You know, we also need, you know, a good point of contact on town hall side as well, and we rely on, you know, our town receptionist up front, who does a great job, and she does get, you know, to everybody. And you know, it's some of the other things that come through, like things that come through town hall for, say, code or public works, it would be good to get some sort of maybe tracking system so you can track, other counties have that, and we actually do. I actually, since this was brought up, one of the people I looked at that does the text messaging system and also does our online, that I want to bring back to the Mayor and Council next month, an online agenda building platform and meeting platform. They also do something that can track, it's a little bit more money, but it can track, requests coming in through the town. And I think that would be a very good idea. It's something to look into. That's not so much staffing related as it is more of a tracking related. I just looked into that. I don't know 100% about it. I went through the brochure real quick. I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I guess it would almost work on a very watered down version of like the county's 311 system, maybe. I'm not sure, but don't hold me to that. But you can like attach like so it follows through. Councilmember Rout, I think you may have saw something like that before.
Yes, Acting Town Administrator Tonelli, you did ask me to attend that demonstration, and I did experience it. And I think it's an excellent system, and I do recommend something like that. So, because this was more of a wider issue, not just personnel, that's why I wanted us to talk about. So, is it a tracking system? Who's going to manage that tracking system? Because there needs to be a body to manage it. There are requests that you can put in. With the one you asked me to look at, which was GoGov, they outface it as a code enforcement system, but after experiencing the demo, it was more of code enforcement, public works, police. Each department can have a opportunity to use this tracking system, and it's web-based and it's cell phone based. So that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it's not just a body. It is, they're tied in too. But the resident, with that being said, we would need to get our engagement up, because we can buy a system all day long, but if our residents don't understand or know that this system is out there, this is the use of our system, we have to be very intentional if we purchase something, how to be able to educate. So is that a mailer to every door saying, Town of Bladensburg, we have this new system. This is how you sign up. You download this or you access it this way. Because it's not going to help if we just purchase a system. We have to have an actual plan to be able to educate our community, have the system, and then really look at, are we being more efficient, and how do we do that? But it was so cool. Every department could have it. So if you wanted a records request, we can build that into, so the town clerk would have it. The police department could have it. Of course, if it's emergency, you can call it. But if it's a non-emergency, there was a payment system embedded in there where for tickets or things like that, you can pay for stuff. So that's what I'm talking about as it relates to efficient. I think that the technology can be great, but it's going to have to mirror with a body or a person that's going to be designed to manage that system. I yield.
Thank you, Councilmember Rout. That was great. And I'm all in. Chief, I'll come to you in a second, but if you and I could work together and put a plan together on how to really roll this out so that we hit every door. The mailer is a great idea, but if we've got to do some other things, I'd love to work with you on that. But I'll jump over to Chief Collington. You had your hand up as well.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I recall the incident that was just raised about the lack of response to the phone situation. But technology now is what we are facing in this town, is the lack of technology, modern technology, 21st century technology. And we can have something that like a call answering service. That could be investment. Somebody's on the other line taking the information, and if there's an emergency, that can get routed to the right person, whether it be code, whether it be police, whether it be town information. The other is the call directory, where they can pick up and dial. And these are some of the things that we looked at when we were trying to vet these phone companies. And then the other last one point that I wanted to make was the voice IP system. A lot of that is web-based. If I wanted to go somewhere, I can forward my phone from my desk to my cell phone, and I can pick it up and I can have that conversation if I need. So, these are all valid points, and I think we've all experienced that hardship of trying to get through, trying to find an open line. So, I definitely appreciate that being brought to the forefront again tonight, and
And
I'm
I'll,
willing to help out with that as well.
and I'll
And Chief,
apologize to my staff because I haven't told them about the idea yet. But when Councilmember Rout and I are working on those issues, I mean the text messaging system, and then a few calls were getting answered. I started looking really quick. I just haven't had time to talk to my staff, to our staff yet. So, as Chief said, with our phone system too, if the lines are full, unfortunately, we're not getting through, and that's why we're going, as soon as this CARES Act is done, dust is settled, we're going right back into this phone system. And I'm identifying savings here and there in the budget that I'm going to have to come back and do a budget amendment. But we're seeing the issues now, as Chief said, and Sean agrees. Our technology is lacking, and all of a sudden, all of this is coming to the forefront here in the last few months. And now we're scrambling. We're trying to get it up and going. So, these great ideas. I'm glad it's all out there.
Yeah, Mr. Tonelli, before I pivot to Councilmember Blunt, I just want to say, and we've talked about it before, but due to the pandemic and situations where, again, stay-at-home orders may come down, these kinds of tools have to be in place so that we as staff can work remotely, still be able to get the information, provide the service and follow-up that's needed for the residents. So definitely appreciate you all just understanding the importance of getting these tools in place. Councilmember Blunt?
Um, I'm just asking, I don't know what type of phone it is, but in the meantime, you can't purchase an answering machine to hook up until you all get what you all need? I mean, it's $39. I mean, or whatever, and just hook it up to the phone so that you won't ever miss a message. You can always come back and hit that button and get your message out. I mean, I don't know if that phone can do it, but I think it's something better than nothing. Until you all can get something together, it's something better than nothing. Get an answering service.
Thank you, Councilmember Blunt. Before I come back to you, Mr. Tonelli, Councilmember Rout?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I like the idea that Chief Collington suggested. There are there are companies that will just take your call and they will type up the message and they will send it directly. I mean, yes, it's a cost, but because what I don't want us to do is just be purchasing, and then we don't have a plan, but for right now with, approaching a shutdown and possibly, I mean, maybe, I'm not the governor, but we know how the trend is going and we have to have something. So possibly looking into the system where Chief Collington suggested that if there is a company that we could use that, and it may not be a lot, it may be a little bit, but we have to do something, and maybe that's just our first phase. And then maybe we can do like maybe a month-to-month contract with them, so we're not signing up for a whole year or something. And then the next phase would be a rollout plan of this, robust system, and we could educate, we could have some webinars. I mean, really like get really cute and funky. But I do agree with Councilmember Blunt. We have to start somewhere.
Okay.
Vito,
Yeah. Hello.
where I work, we have the Avaya phone system. And what we did was, because of COVID, we set it up where if you leave a message, it records and sends it to an email. And then we all have the same email. I mean, we have our own email. We have the company email, and then everybody gets it. So we could I could listen to the emails from home and then contact those people back and answer the call. So everybody in my job has the same email. They share one email, and that's where the messages get sent to whenever you leave a phone message.
Okay. That sounds like I got some.
The Avaya phone system.
Sounds like I got some of the best minds on this, and we can bring it back to mayor and council as we get through this. And again, this is, as the mayor said, this is all new and all just came to a head, and Chief's been saying a phone system is, and, now just another example, so it's, again, it's a priority. And it's going to go back to the efficiency too, because we don't want to have residents not getting through, because you know how it is. When you want an answer, you want an answer. You don't want to sit there and not get an answer, and then you're like, why can't I get an answer? So it's, but we want to have some sort of follow up and everything too. And it's not just the technology, as you said, but it's a staff follow up too, to make sure that we are getting back to people. But I'd love to work with council, chief, Sean. I mean, we'll get all this done definitely and bring it back to the council.
Thank you, Mr. Tonelli. And just to wrap up the discussion, I mean, at the end of, oh, sorry, Councilmember Blunt, go ahead and now.
Okay, and just for the sake of time, it don't take a month to do this. This can be done in 1 week by just calling the company, asking how much they cost and getting them on board. This ain't, I mean, we can approve that. We can approve that. We don't have to wait till the next council meeting to do that. We need that like yesterday.
Understood.
And Mr. Tonelli, particularly if it falls under the $10,000 threshold, as acting town administrator, you can move forward with that expense. I can't imagine that a call service would be more than that, especially if we're going month to month, as was suggested by my colleagues. But just to kind of put a button on this, because I want to make sure we have bio breaks before the council meeting, because me and Councilmember Blunt got to get it in before the next one. But the whole purpose for us being here is to provide service for our residents. And even looking at the pie chart and where the money for the CARES Act is gone, the whole purpose of all this money is so we can be here to provide service. The people providing the service are our staff. That's our biggest ticket item on our budget. And so having this sort of tool where they can better assist our residents from wherever they are without having that crystal ball to know what's going to happen as COVID, evolves into this season, I think is just helping us to work smarter and not harder as a team. So the sooner that you can get that in place, it would be very much appreciated. We don't, again, need to micromanage it. Go if it's under $10,000. You know that you've heard the discussion.
I'm pretty sure I have a very specific direction, and we'll get it done.
Yes. Councilmember Rout.
Yes, and with that being said, so also with the town efficiency, I just wanted to know, a lot of the calls too are with as in regards to the grant and where we are with the grant and things like that. So if there can be some correspondence that's sent out as it relates to the grant, because we still have residents that are holding on to, their little dollar that they do have, with huge things in their homes that need to be mitigated. So this is embedded with that as well. So if we could just send something out to those that are affected or not, where we are with the application, did it go, like some like that too, like we do have a duty to respond. I yield back.
Agreed.
Thank you. And so with that, we're at the last agenda item, which is adjournment for tonight's work session. I do want to thank everyone for all the great ideas and collaboration. I'm just trying to figure out the best solutions to address these challenges. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Lundy. Is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. We're adjourned. And we'll take a 8-minute break and see you all right back for the council meeting at 7. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
for the opening prayer.
All right, thank you, Mayor James. Let us pray. So, dear Heavenly Father, we do thank you for this evening, Father God. We also thank you for your provision and your protection during this season, Father God. Thank you, Father God, for your presence with us in this meeting. It is in your name that we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Councilmember Lundy. And at this time, the first item, or the next item, number 3, is the approval of meeting minutes. The Monday, November 9th, Mayor and Council meeting minutes are first up. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So move.
Moved by Councilmember Mendoza. Is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Now, or any discussion before we call for the vote? All right, hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
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 Any nays?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you so much. And next we have the meeting minutes for our special council meeting, which we held on November 23rd. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Lundy. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Mendoza. Any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. At this time, Acting Town Administrator Tonelli will turn the meeting over to you to read the public comments.
Mayor, I think I've been tasked to do that this evening. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes. Does that mean we get to time you, Mr. Reinhardt? No, I'm kidding.
Please do. I'm not used to this. The first message is going to be from Susan McCutcheon. It says, good evening, Mayor, Council staff, and Bladensburgers. My name is Susan McCutcheon. I live on Spring Road, and I'm providing an update on the opposition to the proposed superconducting magnetic levitation maglev train project. First, a thank you to Mayor Takesha James for speaking on behalf of the town in oral testimony in support of Delegate Julian Ivy's Stop the Maglev Act of 2021 at a recent hearing. Second, the draft environmental impact statement for this project will be released for the public comment on January 22nd, 2021. I urge the mayor and council to support the recent public campaign launched by our newly formed Maglev Coalition for Response Transit, MCRT, and a citizen against the SC Maglev, acronym CATS. To extend the comment period, we are asking individuals and organizations to write in our U.S. and Maryland legislators, in turn asking them to request the key federal and Maryland agencies to enormous statement addressing 2 potential routes. To get an idea, the DEIS for the proposed Beltway expansion project was 18,000 pages. I asked Congressman Anthony Brown at a December 10 legislative meeting of the Prince George's County Young Democrats about this extension request, and he indicated he will be willing to support the effort. I believe he will be encouraged to follow through with, and Senator Ben Cardin and Chris Van Hollen will be persuaded by a large volume of requests from individual organizations and municipalities, such as the town of Blandford Hills, whose mayor Jeffrey Shomish and council members have submitted a letter. Third, I have contacted mayor and council and staff about convening a public meeting for the MCRT and CATS to be able to provide a briefing by the opposition movement. One such meeting recently was held in the city of New Carrollton, and they also invited Ian Rainey of the Northeast Maglev to speak on behalf of the proposed project. The residents of Bladensburg should have the opportunity at a special meeting to hear about the SC Maglev train and the current status, both live and recorded electronically for later viewing. I hope we all receive a positive response for the request. Thank you, Susan McCutcheon. And if you give me 1 second, we have one more comment from Mr. Steve Weiss, and I'm going to be pulling that up now. All right. This is from Mr. Steve Weiss of the 5400 block of Tilden Road. We thank the town council and staff providing assistance to the flood victims. Many town residents had a large amount of flood damage. Our town has many hills and stormwater drains throughout the town that contribute to the ongoing flooding and below ground basements. We hope the town and residents can find ways to prevent future flooding. We also appreciate the many ways our town provides assistance and food to those in need during the COVID virus lockdown. Many people do not have cable TV, so posting all the town meetings on YouTube is very helpful to allow town residents to view the town meetings and keep residents informed. Unfortunately, most residents are not aware that the town meetings are being posted on YouTube, and residents do not know how to find these town meeting videos on YouTube. It would help to send more town news emails to inform residents that town meetings are now being posted on YouTube with instructions on how to find the posted town meetings on YouTube. This year has been difficult with the COVID virus, and many challenges to our town has had during this year. We thank the town council, town staff, and our town police department for all of their hard times this year. A special thank you to Vito Tonelli, who has been doing 3 jobs serving as town treasurer, acting town administrator, and acting town clerk. Each of these 3 jobs are very demanding, so we hope everyone can pitch in to help Vito until these empty town staff positions can be filled. Hopefully, we can fill these empty town staff positions soon. We wish each of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you, Steve Weiss.
Thank you.
And that completes the public comment.
Great. Thank you, Officer Reinhardt, for reading the public comments. At this time, under the agenda item, community updates, I've received an alert from Chief Sumner, who was up for the first item. He's on a fire over in Riverdale. If he can get back in time, he will just come into the meeting when he's available. If that's all right with you all, we'll get him on and off because it's the nature of that position. But the next community update is the COVID-19 relief food gift card distribution. Is that you, Mr. Tonelli, or a combination with Chief Collington?
Yeah, what I have on the agenda here, and I just want to share it real quick. Please work, please work, please work, please work, please work. I want to share real quick is the dead air. Hold on a second, people. I'm sorry. Okay, these are our community updates. This is something a little bit newer I wanted to add to the agenda. The thing is this goes out in our weekly e-blast, and when we get our text messaging system up, we also push these out as well, and our other when the website is back up again. But we're trying to push all this information out, and that's why I want to share this at the council meeting as well, just so everybody's on board. So mayor and and also for the mayor and council to have an opportunity to weigh in too, because we push it out here, but we also, it is a mayor and council and town initiatives. And, I just want, and celebrate some things and also talk about some upcoming things as well. And that's why I have these on the list here. And if you don't mind, Mayor, the first one on there is the COVID-19 relief gift card distribution. And this is something that we've talked about at the November meetings, and we just had a discussion about this in the work session. But again, we want to get the information out there. So I'm going to turn this over to Chief Collington. His team has done a really good job at this, and it's a really great rollout. And we want to keep putting the word out. So, Chief, I'm going to have you weigh in on this, please.
No problem. Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, community, and colleagues and staff. The COVID-19 relief gift cards was something that we're so happy that the council came together and to find resources that we can provide to our residents during these taxing times, trying to navigate through the COVID pandemic. As such, last week on the 7th, we opened up the registration for residents to register through email, through town hall, that if they were in need of a food gift card. So the council passed a budget of $15,000 that we were able to purchase 300 gift cards for our residents, 150 cards for Ward 1, 150 cards for Ward 2. The registration period ended on the 11th, and as such, we had a total of 157 residents that signed up. So we will be distributing 86 cards to Ward 1 and 71 cards to Ward 2. We were planning to do this on the 15th and the 16th, but unfortunately with the anticipation of snow on Wednesday, we have rescheduled this for the 21st and the 22nd. So everyone that signed up, the time slots that you have, they would just roll over for next week. So nothing has changed. You will still get your same time slots. And I just think this is a perfect opportunity for the mayor and council and staff to make sure that we take care of our residents in town of Bladensburg.
And again, we're halfway through that process, so we're going to try to push this out again. And because I mean, and that was only out there for a week, so it's and as we heard from the council, there is the need. The need's there. We're just going to market it more, and that's why I want to talk about here. So hopefully, we get a new, more interest from here. So.
Great. Thank you for that update, Mr. Tonelli, on the gift card distribution effort. I think we're still with you on the next item, or actually with Santa on the drive-through Santa December.
Now this was a past event, but it was really cool. It was actually Sean came up with the idea. In a few days, we scrambled, we made it happen. We got out there. We did this in lieu of, because we didn't have a Yule log this year. First time in how many years?
20.
20.
Yeah. So we got to do something. We got to do something fun. So, Chief, hopefully you shared some pictures on Facebook and everything. So it's hard to see because it's nighttime and we had the fire truck out there and the police vehicles and a Humvee. People were riding by, beeping and waving. We tried to get them to drive through. Councilmember Lundy did a great job drawing people in off Edmondson Road. I think more people were beeping for her because they like her out there. But we got them in, through the parking lot. It's really cool. It's just a great community interaction with the fire department and police there, handing out treats. I mean, it was really neat. It was really cool, and it's something that. First year, I think we did it, Sean. Is that correct?
That is correct. This is the first year we did it. And like I said, Santa wants to send out a special thank you to Councilwoman Lundy for being the biggest cheerleader for Santa that night, and also for getting a lot of attention brought to the event. So without her and the other staff there, I don't think it would have been as big a success as it was. If I had to take a guess, I'd say we probably had about 35 cars come through in about an hour, which was a whole lot more than I expected for something that was put together as quickly as it was put together. And again, for Santa, just to see the happiness on the kids' faces and getting the special treats from the seasoned citizens and the younger citizens, it's always a great feeling to see that.
And I saw quite a few vehicles pull up, slow down. Not sure if they want to pull in or not. And, one of the police officers went there, like, yelling to him, pull in. I think may have, like, whoa, but I think that, it was a really cool community event. So, again, as a past thing, I just thought it was really neat. I want to bring that up because, again, this was a town initiative, and everybody to, and thankful our council is there to support us as well. The next event I have on here, can everybody see the agenda? Okay, I'm sharing the agenda. Okay. Holiday decorating contest. Sean, I'm going to throw this back to you. Help me out with this one.
Sure. I believe Councilwoman, I had a question. Councilwoman Blunt had a question. I don't know if you could see her or not.
Oh, thank you. I did not see you, Councilman Blunt.
I'm sorry. You should have said.
I'm feeling kind of jealous because you didn't come and see the seniors. You didn't drive up here and
That's a good idea.
I mean, it's not too late. It's not too late.
I actually have an update on that too. I'll fill that up once I do the information on the holiday decoration contest.
Right. All right.
Okay. On to the holiday decoration contest. Judging for the holiday decoration contest is actually occurring this week. It's going to occur up to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So far, we've only had 2 residents in the apartments actually register. So I hope this gets out that they hear us tonight. Please register. It does make it a whole lot easier for us to have register. I mean, we're going to look everywhere in the town. So don't feel like if you don't register, but we are going to pay closer attention to the ones who have followed the rules and who have registered, just in fairness. We have nobody in the residential section that has registered yet. But again, we're going to look at everybody and we'll get this through. And then we're planning on awarding the gift card to the winners on Thursday. And now to Councilwoman Blunt's question, Santa will be coming around with the fire department and with Chief Compton, some of the police department. They plan on coming around on Friday. This Friday, the 18th. Santa will be coming around to the entire town and hitting most of the town of Bladensburg, Edmiston, and just the surrounding jurisdiction. So if you want to let your residents know that Santa will be around, because I know it's a big thing, and I know a lot of the seniors do like to come out to the Yule log, and that makes it, again, like I said, the seasoned citizens that come out, they're just as much as important to Santa as the younger residents.
What time?
What time?
I would probably say I can't give you an exact time, but I would look for them probably around 6, between like 6 and 7. If I do have an updated time with that, I will make sure I share that with the mayor, council, and staff.
And one more thing, I know before you all used to come inside the apartment buildings and judge the lobby area. You can come in the house. We decorate it. We have a whole.
I will forward that on to the committee. I know what we try to do is we try to do the exterior, like balconies and residential homes, but I'll forward that information on to the committee.
And again, it's a $100 gift card for apartment and for the residents. So, compete with your neighbor, compete with your friends, please register. So, and it makes the town look great too. I mean, come on, it's, okay, I'm gonna go into the next, I'm gonna share this again. Did it work? Okay. The next one is the District 5 Senior Food Giveaway, Grab and Go. It was supposed to be scheduled for Wednesday. This is through Councilmember Ivy's office. I had this on the agenda. We try to push this out. Due to the impending weather, it has been postponed. And we're trying to find a better date. The problem is with a better date was, it's in competition with some of our last Grab and Go next Thursday. So I'm not sure when this is going to happen. I'm working with Councilmember Ivy's office on this, but I also have to talk with our staff too. And, as we get down to the last 2 weeks of the year, with holiday schedules, the time's getting compressed. So I'm working with Councilmember Ivy's office on that right now, and I will keep everybody updated as well. Councilmember Blunt, I don't know if you had anything to add to that, if you heard anything since. Okay. Our Bladensburg Grab and Go is coming up to our final week here. Mayor, has that been renewed? I'm losing track of the. Is there a fourth phase going in, or is this expiring?
There is supposed to be another phase after this. We just haven't been notified
That's what I
when
thought.
it will
Okay.
start.
Okay.
So this is the last one for 2020, unless they get an emergency donation next week.
And our grab and goes, I mean, between our weekly grab and goes, the hot meals that was brought before by the council members as well. This process, Councilmember Ivy's office, I want to estimate, I mean, Sean, Chief, helped me out. I think in the last 6 months, I want to say we gave away roughly, I don't know, 15,000 meals. I mean, I'm just ballparking it. I'm thinking that's 26 weeks, give away, I don't know, 500 meals on average a week. And that's probably low. I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, Sean, Chief, I don't know what you know, so it's a great benefit to the community, and we hope we can keep doing this. So it's, I mean, that's a lot, you know. So, and it's, through the hard work of the mayor and council and our staff that are out there and our volunteers, and we really appreciate it. And it's something that's, it's helping the community.
Mr. Tinelli, I have a question. With the impending weather coming in Wednesday evening and the Thursday, will we be still hosting our event in the town hall parking lot? Because that might limit our staff that is still out plowing still if we do get the event that they're calling for.
I think maybe we need to have a meeting about that tomorrow with the, yeah, that's a very good. I was only focusing on Wednesday, but you're right. That event is going to go into Thursday, and not only that, Sean brought before, it's going to cut down on our walk-up traffic as well. So we have to have, we got to think about all this as well, and so yeah, we'll put our heads together tomorrow about this and get an update from Public Works. And just so everybody knows, Public Works is already geared up for this. I mean, they have been, and so is Code. So if we have a weather event, we're geared up for it. I don't know if Purnell is still on here, but the trucks are already outfitted and everything.
Yeah, I can tell you they're loading up the trucks with the spreaders and snowplows today, and staff is ready. And I believe Mr. Hall is going to be adjusting the schedules possibly Wednesday if the event does become an overnight event.
Okay. We have the District 47 Toys for Tots drop-off here at Town Hall on Saturday, and that will be out here in the Town Hall parking lot. We were going to have another event at the same time, but that is being done by the police department. They're going out to the community instead of having the event here. So we're going to have the Toys for Tots drop-off. I'm trying to find the information on that, and that is here on December 19th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that is similar to our grab and go. We're going to have volunteers from District 47, and it's going to be the same as our grab and go. If the gifts are in the back of the car, open up the car, pull gifts out, and they're going to fill up like 4 barrels out there. And we're going to try to get people through here as quickly as possible. And it's only for a couple of hours, but please come out. The information is in our weekly e-blast. But again, that is December 19th here, Saturday at Town Hall from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it's a toy drive. And District 47 is also having a virtual holiday celebration on Monday from 6:30 to 7:30. And that information is in our e-blast, and we will post that again this week. I think I left off one thing on here, Councilmember Rout, and I'm sorry, but it is the Q&A.
I just wanted to remind people that if you're going to be attending, you have to dress in your ugly sweater.
Oh.
Sunday. Don't forget that. We could still have some virtual fun. And so, and then also, because I did get some calls, Mr. Tinelli, as it relates to the Toys for Tots drop-off, it's a drop-off. So you're donating toys. You're not receiving them.
That is a very good, you're right, because we are usually giving out benefit. You are correct. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And also something I'm just adding on here, my apologies. There is a Bladensburg Elementary School principal Q&A session on December 17th from at 6 p.m. And we had the link on our e-blast, and we'll send that out again this week. And Councilwoman Rout will be on there as a special guest. So I apologize for that dropping off the agenda, but it is in their e-blast. So please join. And this is, for the parents of the schools, and I'm sure it doesn't have to be just Bladensburg Elementary School. I think it's going to be for any anybody involved in virtual learning. Is that correct? I mean, is that?
It's going to be specific to Bladensburg Elementary School. It's to just talk about what the Bladensburg Elementary School is doing. Past special guests have been Mayor James, the immediate past Board of Education Director, Brian Swan. And so this is just the way that the Bladensburg Elementary School is trying to engage the community more by partnering with the town and elected officials.
And we'll have the whole information on here. There's the meeting information, but again, that was in our e-blast, and it will go out again this week. And talking about the e-blast, we're talking about the events. Something Councilmember Rout brought up in the work session is the efficiency for the town. Just requests, anybody you engage with, ask them for their email and if they want to be part of the e-blast. I forget to push that out a lot, but just get their email, text to me, email to me. I'll send it to Diamond, and we can push out information to them. So, I mean, that's kind of a goal I have here, that anybody, any contacts that we have, just try to get an email or cell phone number or both, because we'll need a cell phone number for the text messaging system as well. So we're going to have to do a whole marketing campaign around that as well. So that's just an aside. I'll pull this back up again.
Mr. Tonelli, while you're pulling that back up, Mr. Tonelli, do we still have the little text code that we used to have the announcements about, where you text a certain something like Bladensburg MD or whatever, and you text it to a code, and that would help you to get signed up? Do we still have that service, or no?
I'm going to get back to you on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I will talk to our marketing specialist, who is the expert in that, and I'm sure I'll get a text from her in a.
Okay. It was just an easy way.
No, because I mean, we were doing that like I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago. We pushed that out, and yeah, let me find out for you about that.
Acting Town Administrator Tonelli, on the same tune, we are collecting information on a weekly basis, as we have fed over 12, you said 15,000. We've given out a lot of food. Mm-hmm. Are those individuals automatically rolled into our system as it relates to our engagement strategy? Is that something that is, because we do have those emails in addition to all of our correspondence when we are registering online for our different accommodations, because I just wanted to know too, are those emails being registered in our database so that when we do push out more information, we're expanding our engagement map? Yeah.
I'd like to know too. I'll find out for you. I think that's, it's, I guess my only caution is, using that information, that is like, personal information. I'd rather we probably should have, looking back on it, maybe, and Chief, you can help me if there's something on that form, but is it okay to contact you, or is it okay to, you know what I mean? So, but I'll find out for you. But, that's something that, I guess I'm cautious about, because, people receiving a benefit don't want to be part of all of a sudden become a part of a call list or something. So, but maybe that's something that we can go out and say, hey, would you be interested, instead of automatically putting them on the list. So, but I'll find out for you. Give me 1 second. All right. I got to mark this spot in the meeting so I know where it is, so I know where to go back to. And give me 1 more second. trying to get the hang of it now at the end, unfortunately. Okay. Now, Bladensburg Elementary Family Christmas Baskets. We are having, we put this out on the e-blast as well. The state may change depending on what the school can do, but and if anybody has any information on here, any updated information, council members, have you heard anything updated yet? Maybe, no, okay.
No updates
No, I
other,
haven't
oh, I'm
heard.
sorry. Go ahead. I was just gonna share.
I did want to acknowledge that I did donate 700 packs of hot cocoa and 700 candy canes to support this effort because I truly think that our children have been slighted with the pandemic, and a lot of our children, they don't understand what is going on in the world, why we cannot have as many celebrations. And so in partnering with Bladensburg Elementary School, I did donate those items to the school to give some holiday cheer. Yield back.
Thank you for that update, Councilmember Rout. And then in talking with Mr. Tonelli, I did get the okay to get some help from Miss Diane in securing donations as well. So
And
she she
yeah.
has been reaching out to the business community in the area asking for donations. Mrs. Singh, our point of contact, did just say it's easier rather than the town getting a bunch of canned goods and turkeys to just have the businesses drop the items off directly to this school. So if you're talking to anyone who wants to donate canned goods and so forth, I would just let Miss Diane know, and she can forward the exact instructions in terms of when things need to be dropped off and exactly where.
And also, it's also for winter coats as well. And Diane did go out today to try to solicit donations for that. This came up later. Next year, maybe, we'll work with the schools to get this started earlier. I mean, it's still a great program and we're pushing it out. And again, it's our staff are trying to help the school and the community. So it's ongoing, and any updates, we'll put in the e-blast, and I will keep the mayor and council updated because there may be a potential change in date. I'm not sure yet. So I just want to put that out there, but don't stop thinking about this. So it's, and the other last item is town hall is closed on December 25th. And I was going to run by the council, by the mayor and council to go ahead and close early on the 24th. That's been done in the past, but I wasn't going to do it without, having the council weigh in.
And Mr. Tonelli, so do we need to add that under financial business, or is it sufficient just to get a pulse from the council at this point?
Yeah, I think this is just more of an operational, so it's, and that's just, and that's town hall, but the police and extend to public works, with the police talk, I talked to chief about that, but it's, it's just pretty much this half of the building is closed, and historically there's not been much traffic or phone traffic anyway on the day before, so it's, but I'll keep the mayor and council advised about that as well.
Sure. From the council, any concerns with closing the front office at 1 p.m. on Christmas Eve? No. I'm sorry, you all have to scroll to the side. Councilmember Mendoza and Lundy. Any concerns? No. Okay.
No, not at this point, no.
Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Lundy. Okay, Mr. Tonelli.
Okay, next item on the agenda is what we talked about with the, give me 1 second, please. I found my cheat sheet that Councilmember Rout told me about how to share this on the PDF, so I think I got it. Sorry for the dead air. I just have to go through the. Okay, so we discussed this at the work session, And just to recap, I'll give the 45-second recap. Our health insurance automatically renews each year through Care First, and we have two plans. You can see a breakdown of the plans. I budgeted a 6% total increase for this fiscal year, and but the renewal is halfway through the year. It's annualized, so the 6% carries through the next budget cycle. But anyway, I budgeted a 6% increase, and the health insurance came back. The renewal rates came back with less than a 3% increase, which is very favorable. And projected, we're going to save about $64,000 this year on health insurance cost, which is very good. We have very good plans here. It's a nice benefit. We might not be able to match the pay of larger jurisdictions or governments, but I think we have a pretty banging, a very robust health insurance plan that we market to, as a benefit to look at other than compensation. It's a whole compensation package. It's salaries, it's health insurance, and we're also enrolled in Maryland State Retirement. So I think we have a very good benefit package, and this is part of it. And I'm asking for the mayor and council to approve the renewal to Care First this year.
Great. Thank you for the recap, Mr. Tonelli. So with that in mind, is there a motion to approve the health insurance renewal for Care First for the coming year?
I move to approve the insurance renewal for the upcoming year.
Thank you, Councilmember Rout. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Seconded by Councilmember Lundy. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Mr. Tonelli, we're still with you under the next item, which is the CARES Act report.
Yeah, the CARES Act report. I'm going to try to share this again. This is going to change. Well, it shouldn't change at all. Okay, here it is. Did PDF come up? Okay, always got to ask. We discussed this at the work session. Where we left off at the November 23rd Mayor and Council special meeting was there's 92% approved through the spending plan approved. There's 8% balance left over that the staff was going to bring back to Mayor and Council. And we discussed the final 8% was, help me out. So I guess I need a motion for the, I'm trying to figure out how to word the motion here.
Right, because a chunk of it was to go to PPE.
Correct.
You explained it during the work session.
I'm going to throw this other one back up.
And then there was also discussion from the council about doing these kits that we ordered through Giant. Councilmember Blunt said they were pre-assembled. There we go. Thank you. Thank you for the visual. That's perfect.
Yeah, send it over. I mean, and that's something that we are going to get on tomorrow morning. And also part of that was approved already. That 19% was a gift card program, and there's a balance there that we're going to move to PPE, but and also to the text messaging system, and also discuss the computer switches, the cable studio upgrade, and move this over. And any unspent, unremaining funds that we cannot get to, I'm recommending that we go ahead and push that to the public safety salaries. But that's my recommendation. But I want a motion, I want direction from the mayor and council with that.
Okay, Mr. Tinelli, I was trying to type my notes up to make sure that we've got everything covered in the motion. So you, I want to make sure I have all the items listed. So that would be approval with the 8% for the text messaging system, PPE, the CARES kits, the computer switches, and the cable studio upgrade. Am I missing anything? Oh, sorry. And then any unspent funds will go to salaries for public safety. Is that everything?
Councilmember Rout.
Oh, okay. Did I capture
I have
everything
one
on the
thing.
floor?
I have something that I have a. So I just have a question. So we did not get to this discussion yet. Because the text messaging, the emergency engagement system, we did not choose that system. We didn't choose that yet, and that would be procured through CARES Act funding or not?
You know what, Councilmember Rout? I think we skipped over that in the work session agenda.
Oh, all right.
Now that I did get a quote, I think our quotes are coming in like around $3,000. I want to say like in that range. Yeah, there is money there that we could put towards that and get that thing going tomorrow. Get a decision on that tomorrow. Or
So
today. I'm sorry.
which system are you recommending?
Let me go back. Okay, give me 1 second. Because, yeah, I want to recognize Councilmember Rout got half these quotes for us, which is really great. It's a huge help.
My pleasure.
Yeah, because it was it's, give me 1 second.
And while you're doing that, Mr. Tinelli, Councilmember Rout, this last time when you were speaking, it was sort of hard to hear you, like the internet connection was being a little weird. But I do want to echo Mr. Tinelli's sentiment. Thank you for getting these proposals together for us and also recognizing that you've used at least one of the tools. So after he goes through it, if there's anything that you feel would be beneficial for us to consider, please let us know.
I gotta tell my kids to get off the internet because they're gamers. So we know that's the problem. So my apologies.
That's fine. Okay, I pulled up the quotes that we received. We're fortunate. I mean, this was something easier than a phone system, but this is our mass communication system, and I have year 1 and year 2 cost. The reason is they're annual contracts, but of course they discount you the first year, hoping you sign up again for a second year. So if you already invested in them for 1 year, you're most likely going to go ahead and stay with them for a year or two, unless we don't like them. So that's why I put the year 1 and year 2 cost, because just about all the quotes had that. Actually, they all did. And the one I liked that, while Councilmember Rout was talking to Code Red, I looked around. I saw a online article about some jurisdiction went to a new 911, like a reverse 911 system. So I called them. It didn't go anywhere, but they referred me over to Civic Ready, who I called, and one of the things that comes up when we make purchases is what are the other areas using? It's nice that, we get a proposal for a product or service. It's even nicer if there's somebody that's already serving neighboring jurisdictions, towns, and municipalities. I looked out with this one on Friday, and I found that Civic Ready, I asked them, do they have any local clients, and he quickly shot these back. The county uses them, University Park, Hyattsville, Capitol Heights, Greenbelt, Forestville, Rockville, Frederick, and other jurisdictions. They market heavily to municipalities because they are strictly a municipality, oriented service. But I'm glad I stumbled across them the last minute on Friday afternoon, and they came back with a quote of $2,500, which I have room in the CARES Act funding for, which is really nice. But and I sent this to Councilmember Rout. But what's also really cool about this, which I want to bring back next month, is they have a online meeting platform for the mayor and council. Currently, just for the public, we email attachments back and forth. You know, we are viewing our agendas the same way I'm showing them to you right now. We email these back and forth. Our website was up. We constantly have to update the website. This online meeting platform, everything is shared. There's a public side and you have a private side. So everybody sees everything that's going on. Motions can be typed out. Click on, motion, I seconded, roll call vote. Everybody sees it in real time. And it also builds our minutes in real time. And it's not that much. It's not that much more than the messaging system. And again, that goes back to the efficiency piece that, we're trying to get more efficient, and also engagement piece with the community, because they can see all the same info that the mayor and council and staff are seeing instead of trying to do all this. And they can also share the WebEx video as well. Again, I'm just starting to look into this, so it's just something I want to bring back. But getting back to the text messaging system, you can see that the quotes are pretty comparable. There's 4 there that are within the $7,000 range, and then one Everbridge is up in the $10,000 range, and all these and these support foreign languages. Civic Ready, because I was on the phone with them, because with a demo, you can click on your side what language is you want to receive the message, which is really cool. So again, we're trying to get up into the century, we're trying to, so Councilmember Rout, please weigh in.
So I understand a lot of these systems because with my employer, we utilize these systems for engagement. And that's one of my 3 roles that I oversee. And I just think it's very important, not just for a text system. I am in favor of the robocalls. And for my experience, we do have a lot of residents that do not use computers, that do not have access to smartphones, but have access to a landline phone. With that being said, the 3 systems that I in my discovery that are able to do speech to text to the landline in the white pages and in the yellow pages, they pull that data is Everbridge, Code Red, and Blackboard. So I would like to impress upon my colleagues that yes, the text message system is very robust. I personally enjoy, even though I use Everbridge at work for my full-time job, I really enjoy Blackboard because to me, the system was easy to understand. The Code Red system, there is unlimited training. I really liked the user platform. It was user friendly. It looked very easy. And so I just think when we are choosing that, I'm not sure what Civic Ready has, if they have the speech to text option, but they will pull not only the data in the white pages, but they could also infuse the data that we already have accessible to us, such as cell phone numbers through the 888808 Bladensburg MD that Mayor James was speaking about in our work session. We could be able to pull. So whichever system we choose, I just want to impress upon you all that it has to have that speak to text option. And I really enjoyed the Blackboard system because of the ability to send it out in multi languages. And a lot of the other systems only had, you could choose up to 3 languages, or you can, select the 3. But if we are going to be looking at our engagement, our languages may change. Yeah.
Thank you for that additional information, Councilmember Rout. Mr. Tonelli, was there anything else that you wanted to add?
No, and just to touch on that, I'm about to I'm about to meet with our staff about that as well, because that is, because all those systems are nice because there's multi-users. You can send out the weather alerts, road closures, everything, public safety alerts, shelter in place alerts, boil water alerts. That's really nice and it's really cool. But it's something that's going to be probably that in Councilmember out. I'll fill you in tomorrow too. It's something that's going to have to be purchased tomorrow. But we're going to have to roll this out. There's going to be a rollout with this as well, and there's going to be a training piece. So, but that's what the contracts are. It's like and one of the contracts thing I saw in there, it's like a 45 to 75-day rollout period, including building the database and training and everything else, and getting the message out to the community. So, we're getting our feet wet, but we're going in. So it's and I'm excited about it. But getting back to I don't know how you want to structure the motion. I'm going to leave that up to the council, for the. I'm sorry. Am I still sharing a screen or no?
No, your
Okay.
screen is off, but I just want to be clear so that the council is clear on the vote. Which of the systems are you recommending?
Blackboard. Oh, me? Blackboard for me. Blackboard. Blackboard, Code Red second, Everbridge third.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Rout. So with that, Mr. Tonelli, I'll entertain a motion to proceed with securing Blackboard as our engagement tool. Is there a motion?
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Rout. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
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 Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. And again, Councilmember Rout, thank you for taking the time to get the extra information in, as well as sharing your experience to just help us understand the functionality of the systems.
Yeah, as you said, she knows the systems and the questions they ask, and so it was a big help.
My pleasure.
And then Mr. Tonelli, to close out the CARES Act report section of the agenda where we have financial business. So we've covered which system to go with, but just want to be clear, we need a motion to agree on these last expenses. Oh, now your spreadsheet is showing up. Now we can see the blue column. We couldn't see it in the work session. Yay.
I know, I'll play around with it real quick.
Yay.
With a day left and securing, we're going to prioritize. Okay, we've already purchased the grocery gift cards. That expense is gone. We're going to prioritize on the final amounts going to PPE and also to the CARES packages. What we can secure that Councilmember Blount shared with us. So send me a picture as well. And we're getting down to the final part, and any unused funds that come 5 o'clock tomorrow or 8 o'clock tomorrow, as a lot of us are still here sometimes, but any remaining funds, I want authority, or I'm asking for approval to go ahead and move any remaining funds, any unspent funds that we cannot get to tomorrow, up to public safety salaries, if that's okay. Is that the correct way to, Ms. Rout?
Councilmember Blunt and I spoke during the break, and I moved to purchase 1,000 of the kits that Councilmember Blunt suggested that can be purchased from Giant.
Okay, and I'll mark that as PPE, and those kits I'm going to have to keep, as Councilmember Blunt shared, it's got to be the disinfectant, the gloves, mask, everything else. So yeah, definitely. That's nice. Yeah.
Mayor, there's a motion on the floor.
And so, can you please repeat the motion, Councilmember Rout?
I move to purchase 1,000 of the PPE kits to include the masks, the hand sanitizer, and the gloves. And the use of the funds will be from the CARES Act funding.
The motion is on the table. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. And so, Mr. Tonelli, it looks like we're just doing this one by one. So the next item is the computer switches.
Yes. And also the two computer switches, and I had to go back and look, and we're also updating the wireless in the council chambers. I don't know if anyone's seen, we're going to use the funds for that too, for the wireless access point for the side of town hall. And also in there is the cable studio upgrade, as far as the leftover money there for the information technology. That cable studio upgrade is a hard drive software to live stream our meetings. Once we get back up and going, this works great now, but we can go ahead and upgrade that. So when the meetings do happen, we can stream these real time. And so it's not just going to the cable channel. It's also going to be hosted on our Rick's on here, who runs our cable studio. It'll be our equipment that Rick operates.
Great. Thank you for that, Mr. Tonelli. Is there a motion to approve the purchase of the computer switches? And actually, I'm sorry, Councilmember Blau, I want to make sure I get this right. Is it in conjunction with the studio upgrades or two separate?
No, it's in conjunction.
Okay.
So,
I'm sorry, Councilmember Blau, for interrupting. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. I mean, as the residents have seen, the mayor and council have seen, we're having trouble trying to get our meetings on a singular platform to get, to be shared out there. And this is going to address that.
Great. Okay. Sorry, Councilmember Blunt, but just asking for a motion just to clarify to approve the purchase of the computer switches along with the cable studio upgrade so we can stream our meetings moving forward.
Also move.
Thank you. Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Rout. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much, everyone. And then finally, Mr. Tonelli.
I must say any unspent, any unspent funds after this, which is going to be around the $33,000 to $34,000 range. We're going to get that, we're going to get this grant spent. I might be a couple dollars short or a couple dollars over. Unfortunately, when I asked for this grant, is there like a 5% leeway at line items? No. You either spend it exactly or you don't spend it exactly. So we're trying to get, right there to the, so there's our ones, we'll get there as close as we possibly can to that final budget amount. But Councilman Rout, do you have a question?
I have received additional comments about this as well. And so I just wanted to be clear for the public that the town will be getting savings back. So we have already paid our staff for the work that they have been doing over the course of this pandemic. And so even though that it looks like it's going like the $33,000 per se, give or take, that money will then return back for salaries and overtime that we have already expensed. We have already paid this out. So that will be savings for the town, which means we can procure other things that we need, such as our telephone system that is going to be very robust and is great. And our 911 dispatching is going to be all in, because I think that there was a misunderstanding when in speaking with members of the public as it relates to that. So I just wanted to reiterate that whatever the leftover or the savings will be, that will just be returning back to the town of Bladensburg to procure or prepare for our next state of emergency. I yield back.
Thank you,
100%,
Councilmember
100% correct.
for that additional feedback and clarification, but that's 100% correct. And so with that in mind, do want to ask for a motion that any unspent funds will go to already spent money for public safety salaries.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Lundy. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Rout. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
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 Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Mr. Tonelli, for talking us through that. I see Chief Sumner is with us now from the fire department, so we just have one more item under financial business to discuss, and then if the council is comfortable, then we can let Chief Sumner give his update and depart in case they get another call over at the fire station. Back to you, Mr. Tonelli.
So do you want me to go to the final financial piece, or do we have Chief jump on since
Yes,
he's here?
could you go ahead
Sure.
and then we'll jump over to Chief.
Okay. I had a proposal to the mayor and council at the work session. What's happened this year is we've had not excessive, but we had several employees, almost a lot of employees go over their annual accrued leave amount that they can carry over. And I brought back a proposal to offer for those employees that might be in the use it or lose it category, to sum it up, because we were in the state of emergency where public safety was at a leave hold, meaning they couldn't take off for 3 months. And then when the state of emergency was lifted, we were facing 8 vacancies. So trying to backfill those shifts, so it's difficult for staff to take off, and the whole time we keep accruing and we keep accruing and dealing with the pandemic, and also the major flooding event and events that we are doing every week. It's difficult for key staff and even all staff to take off sometimes, because anytime we have events, it's usually all hands on deck, because we want to make the events, as flawless as possible. And I think everybody enjoys the events, and they go smoothly as possible. But it's been difficult for staff to take off, and the whole time they're accruing. So I brought back a proposal for a 40-hour cash out for those that are eligible. Now, from what I heard from the council, again, this is something new. I didn't have a chance to vet this through the mayor and council, but I'm glad I did, because he came back with some other proposals where they could carry over. Right now, we're maxed out 360 hours, but I heard from the council it's been extended for a year, 2 years, 440 hours. So I guess I'm just looking for a motion, consensus. We'll get consensus first, then maybe a motion on. It sounds like we're not going to do the cash payout, but we're going to extend the leave balance. So I guess I just want to get a consensus about that, and maybe a motion about that. Councilmember Rout and Mendoza both sent me over the user leave policy. So I'm gonna turn. So I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna turn it back to the council now, since.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Tonelli, for the overview. And again, as we discussed in the work session, the council was more inclined to look at options of either extending the amount of time staff could take their leave, as well as increasing the maximum amount that can be carried over. And Councilmember Rout did share information with us regarding the district's policy on user lose. But wanted to find out from the team if there is a comfort level with increasing the amount to 440 hours as a maximum. And then, given that we don't know what's going to happen this winter, or going into next fall and winter, if the council would be open to allowing staff to have through the end of 2022 to use the leave, similar to the generosity that the District of Columbia is providing. So again, the motion is to um, give the leave through the end of 2022 and also increase the cap to 440 hours. And I'll turn it over to Councilmember Rout.
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Rout. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Mendoza. Is there any further discussion?
Yes, I just want to just impress upon my colleagues that I think this is a great way to marry both of the two examples of the leave bank, which is looking at what Prince George's County is doing and then looking at another jurisdiction. And this is a great way to just marry both of those suggested leave extension dates because our staff are on their leave. I yield back.
I'm sorry, Councilmember Rout, that signal we lost the end. We heard the beginning, so thank you for that.
Sorry,
Is there
they're
any,
playing the
it's okay,
game.
I understand. No worries. Any further discussion from the council before the vote? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
again, at this time, do want to turn it over to Chief Sumner before he has to run off for another call. Chief, we are ready for your updates. Thank you for joining us.
Evening,
No
Chief.
problem. Evening. I apologize for my tardiness. There was a small apartment fire over in Riverdale here a little bit ago. I'm looking for one email real quick. There it is. All right. Thank you, sir. Madam Mayor, you're looking for the update from the department or for the ambulance situation?
All right, the update was in response to the tips for safety, given the recent calls with hoarders and the danger that that's posed for some of the residents, and any other updates you want to provide.
Okay, very well. So reference to overstoraging is the new term the county is trying to go to, overstoraging versus water. They're trying to outdate that term. So over the course of the last 60 days, there has been 3 fires of overstoraging or water conditions, in which case at least one of them was a fatal fire, and that was the one in Laurel. The crews did not find the deceased for several hours due to the fact of the floor collapsing due to the weight in the house and the amount of debris that was on top of the individual. So for the town members, I know we have a lot of older members in our town, and there's a lot that live in the apartments as well as in the housing area that have a tremendous amount of stuff in their homes. This is a huge, huge safety issue. It's a life safety issue, not only for you, but for any responders that are going to your home. It takes very little for something to fall over and make it to where an elderly person cannot get up. So my recommendation to the town and to the individuals living in the town will be to allow surveys to be conducted throughout the town to try to help these individuals. Some people may do it and not realize they're doing it. Unfortunately, hoarding or overstoraging is considered a disease. It's a disability. I can tell you over in the Mount Rainier area, and Sean can attest to this as well, there's a tremendous amount of it in the Mount Rainier area. I've seen 3 or 4 homes in the town itself. I'm not really sure about much more, but I haven't actually gone door to door to each house. That is something that I have a member named Monica who will be working on that project here starting next year to try to get the word out. So, if there's any questions on that, I can let you guys know more.
Thank you for that, Chief Sumner. Any questions from the council or comments? Councilmember Rout?
I thank you, Chief Sumner, for sharing that information. Hoarding was just added into the DSM-5, which is a diagnostic manual for any type of licensed professional to be able to bill. And so that is a true need with individuals experiencing mental health and or substance use disorders. And so I truly understand. And so if you would like to partner on any type of education, seminars, or things of that nature, there are mental health professionals that truly care about this town of Bladensburg that would be more than willing to volunteer to provide education.
What I'll do, if it's okay with you, Council,
To
what I'll do, if it's okay with you,
thank
ma'am, is to have my fire prevention person, Monica, team up with you. And between the two, you can introduce to who she needs to meet and move forward with this. Because this is a serious issue, and I don't want nobody getting hurt because of it.
Great. Thank you for that, Chief Sumner. Sorry, Councilmember Mendoza, were you about to say something?
No.
Okay. Councilmember Lundy? Councilmember Blunt? Yes.
Um, it's great that you all team up, but if you can go in and once you get in touch with that family member, that would be your first step, is getting in touch and letting the family member actually get involved. If that resident tell you they don't want any assistance, you can't
Hmm.
do anything. So you have to get to the family. Those are the ones that can make that decision. No one else can, unfortunately,
Right.
because they haven't caught her because it's a mental disorder.
And that's why it's not going to be just knock on the door and have a conversation. This is going to be an extended project. You're looking at a year or more working on this, even just for one person. So
Wow.
Monica, from my end, is already aware of it. She's already willing to go in, jump feet first, and she's aware this is going to be a very time-consuming process.
Great. Thank you again, Chief. We definitely appreciate you taking the time to jump on here. And we'll let you go unless you want to hang out for the rest of the party, unless there's any other
I'll get some,
updates you wanted to share.
sure, I'll give some final updates if you don't mind, ma'am.
Sure.
So far, year to date, just to let everybody know, the Bladensburg Volunteer Fire Department, which again, as I always remind us, we are 100% volunteer, has responded to 4,459 calls, even during COVID. We have never missed a call. I have guys who have literally were here for 3 months straight, beginning of COVID, never left the building. I should say personnel, not just guys. I apologize. Personnel that were here for 3 months straight because of COVID that never left the building. We continue to provide the service and we'll continue to provide the service. We do have a new engine coming. It should be here between March and April. It's a C grade, and it's on track still to be delivered between March and April. The building project next door, I'm sure you guys have seen the Tilden Road project. It's been steadily moving along. The classroom is completed. If anybody wants to come look at the classroom, I'll be more than happy to show you guys, as well as the police chief and statistics scores will be a part of that. I'll be more than happy to show you guys that project as well. For next year, just to give you guys notice, Bobby Wells, who's my deputy chief, and myself will still be in the same position. Our elections are in January, so we're waiting to see if Jerry will continue to be the president or not. He has one person running against him. That is where we stand as far as on the fire department side.
Great. Well, thank you for those updates, Chief, and good to know. We can look forward to working with you in this role for another year, as well as Deputy Chief Wells, and fingers crossed on Katz getting back in there for president. But with that, we'll let you go. Sorry, I'm wrong. There was a question from Councilmember Blunt, and it's very serious. It was with regard to when the fire truck is coming around on Friday. Is it 6 or 7? Because normally it's 7 o'clock when you guys come through,
We are
after the other routes.
yeah, Santa Claus will be done on the 18th and the 19th this year. The 18th will be the town, which will be Friday. We will be departing the firehouse at 6:30 and go through the town. And then the 19th we will be over in Edmond.
Perfect. So she had to step away. I will make sure that she's aware. And then Mr. Tonelli, if we could put a note in the
I'll send
e-blast
it
this
out.
week to
Definitely.
let the residents know. Yep. Thank you. All
Appreciate
right.
it, Chief.
Thanks for everything. Good seeing you. We'll let you get back to it.
And I just wanted to just stay inside.
And someone is not muted. We're hearing a side conversation. Mr. Tonelli, are you able to mute the callers? Oh, I think we're okay now. Okay.
I don't
Okay,
think I am.
Councilmember Mendoza, I don't think you're mute.
Just as an aside, there's a pretty good chat over here, and I don't know if that is shared or is that part of the meeting afterwards. Does anybody know? Because there's some good information on there. Is that any way that's shared, or will that show up again when the meeting is? Everyone show up again? Okay.
No,
No,
but I
but
can. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Councilmember Rout.
I'm sorry. Before you log out, just quickly highlight it all
Yep.
and just put it on a Word document because
Okay.
you're not going to.
Okay, that's what I was worried about. Okay, I'll go ahead and take care of that because I want that, as part of the meeting as well.
Perfect. And then, so now we're up to department reports. Running a little long on time, but I think it's been a substantive meeting. So first up, we have public safety, and you all tell us if you want to forego or give us some highlights or get into some details here.
I can make mine real short if that's okay. I know it's a little late. I had a lot laid out, but I can make it short. Just in light of the season. Ready? Okay. All right. I just want to let again, good evening, Mayor and Council and community and town administrator and staff. Just have some quick updates now that we're in the COVID season. I just want to make sure everyone is aware that effective the 16th, we will be going back to modified lifestyle lifestyle again of lockdown. So we just want everyone to know that our retail establishments will be at 25% or lower. You cannot, after Wednesday, you cannot go in and sit down and eat, but you can have outdoor eating. But the establishment must have a permit to have outdoor arrangements. So the restaurants will still be open. You will be able to take your food and go. For gatherings, no more than 6 people seated at a table together. And just hit some of the highlights. And unfortunately, we get down to the enforcement part, where I see that the governor has raised the fine to now you could face up to $5,000 or 1 year in jail. Those that are found to be violating the COVID pandemic laws. In addition to that, we are also in the Christmas season. And I just had a couple tips that I want to share with the community because we all are doing e-commerce or, we're ordering online and things like that. So we just want to make sure that, a couple tips that we can share with the community about, these porch package pirates. They're going on. It's not a sophisticated crime. They simply walk up to your door to pick up your package and walk away. Some things that you could think about doing is if you order from Amazon, Amazon has lock boxes that you can use for free. You can call ahead and schedule it, get your package, dropped off at one of the distribution centers, and you can pick it up there. We actually, if you have your home security cameras, if you have that feature with, you can get notified by the motion detector. That's a good thing. And the other part of that is make sure that if you're going out shopping, we strongly suggest that, you shop in the daytime if you can. But if you get, a lot of baggage and things like that, don't walk and put it in the car and let people see you dropping them off in your back seat. If you can put it in the trunk, secure the trunk, make sure that you secure everything. And also for our women and young ladies, there are pickpocketers out here. So if someone bumps, try to rub up against you in the store, take that time and look to make sure. Because I could tell you, it happened to one of my family members who was standing in line and turned around and somebody had their hand in her purse, taking her wallet out of it. And, she was able to fortunately catch him in the act. So those are some things that I have just on a safety tip. And I just want to let everybody know that the department, and I think Sean is still winning his bid. For the month of November, we joined the No Shave campaign to support prostate cancer. And so far, the department we set a goal of $500, and we were able to raise $650, and I'm sorry, $630.24 for the Give and Grow No Shave campaign. And that is what we talked about, the COVID card. So that's about what I have, if there are any questions.
Great. Thank you so much for those updates, Chief Collington. Any questions from the council?
And also, I want to, Chief's got a nice message in the back too, which is really neat. I want everybody to, to see that and everything. So it's, it's just dedication of our police chief. So it's really neat. I'll just share it on the screen. I'm going to take that back off again.
Yeah, it looks great. Thanks for putting him on the spot, Mr. Antonelli.
I know, I had to.
Yep.
And also, we got some pictures of the Veterans Day ceremony. And Chief, I'm not going to let you go real quick because we have a promotion tomorrow. Is that correct? Or we're going to do it this week?
Yes, we have Officer Chad Perez, who's been with the department 2 years. And he and I were talking, and I just asked him the other day, you came here the same time I came here. When is your promotion? And your 2-year mark. And he was like, yeah, it was the day after yours. So we do have his stuff. I had asked Acton Town administrator if he could put it on the schedule for tonight. But then we did virtual, so I told him, I said, we'll try to get you on the next one, but we'll do something. So, because I know as a young officer coming up, you are excited to put that first stripe on. It shows a sense of a milestone, number one, but also a sense of accomplishment for a job well done, and especially in this tough time.
Thanks, Chief.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that, and congratulations to Officer Perez. But I also want to congratulate you, Chief, on achieving your 2-year anniversary with the town of Bladensburg last week. So happy that you're still hanging in here with us and you're cleaning house, rocking and rolling. So just congratulations to you also.
Thank you.
Definitely.
And next up, we have code enforcement. Over to you, Officer Reinhardt.
I'll be brief also. I just want to wish the mayor and council, the residents, happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. And just a reminder to the residents that we will be going around doing some holiday light judging as a reminder this week. I want everybody to be safe, and it's a pleasure working with everybody. And pleasure going to be working with Chief Sumner and Monica with the fire department, especially with the 40/over. over storaging to get some of the residents resolved. And again, Merry Christmas, everybody, and I look forward to seeing everybody next year.
Excellent. And I don't know if Mr. Hall is on, but any key updates from Public Works? Mr. Tonelli.
I'm gonna find a way to share all these reports. I'll probably make it part of the e-blast this week, so everybody can see the reports as well. So I'll go ahead and share it then.
Okay, sounds great. And then you're up after Public Works Treasurer / Acting Town Administrator.
I'm going to keep mine brief. Don't laugh when I say that, but it's. Let me give me 1 second. I'm getting used to this. I like it. Did y'all hear that? Okay, can you all see the financial report? Thumbs up. Thank Councilmember Lundy. I did this revenues compared to budget. Also added a column in here, comparison report, how we are doing actual compared to this time last year. And these financials are at the end of November 30th. Right now, our revenues are 4% under. Some of that is a timing difference, and meaning that when the taxes come through and everything. So I'm not too concerned about that because I know most of the funding is coming through. What I'm really looking at is our expenses are 11% under budget, which is really good. So revenues are down. Okay, it's coming in. Expenses are down. That's great. But there is a cost to that savings. A lot of that is in personnel because we are down some key positions, and we were down some public safety positions this summer. So that's where a lot of the savings is right now. And we're slow. We weren't slow to fill the positions, but they take time to fill the positions. So there is savings through there. So I'm confident. I keep saying, I want to see how COVID is going to affect the financials. But right now, 5 months into the fiscal year, I do have, not a sense of financial relief, but I feel better where we are now. There's less unknown because we have 5 months of track record now and 7 months to go. And the way we're going through December is going on the same pace. So I think this year is going to look projected favorably financially. But again, I'll share these reports. But again, a lot of those savings are because we are a service organization. Like I say, almost 80% of our budget is for providing a service, and that's for people. So when we're down staff, always say you cut the lights off all day long. You're not going to save anything compared to your larger expense items. But we still do cut the lights off to save money those too. So right now through November, it's looking very favorable. So if the council has any questions.
Sure. Any questions or comments from the council? Let me just scroll because I can't see everyone. No. Okay. Great. Thank you for those updates, Mr. Tonelli. And now we'll drop down to the mayor council reports. We'll begin with Councilmember Mendoza.
Good evening. This December 7th, normally I celebrate the Pearl Harbor, where I take poinsettia down to the memorial and lay it down, and usually few people join me. But this year I couldn't do it, and I got a phone call from the mayor and one from Diane asking me when I was going to show up. The reason I couldn't do it was because I was battling COVID during that time. I didn't want to get anybody else worried about it. I was clear like last week that I no longer have it. But, it was a little rough for like about 5 days. No fever, but I was really fatigued and a little bit not too much cough, but a little bit of headache. But I'm good. Nobody else in my house has it. So they both tested negative. But I was quarantined for a while inside my room, so that's why I couldn't leave my house, and that's why I couldn't be out there to celebrate, uh, you know, Pearl Harbor Day. So those of you that didn't see me out there, sorry, I just couldn't leave the house. So Merry Christmas, everybody, and hopefully we get this vaccine going soon.
Thank you, Councilmember Mendoza, and I'm definitely happy you're back up and fully cleared from your
Thank you.
doctor. I mean, this is serious and it's scary to think that it got that close to, people who we
Yeah.
work with. But yeah, I just called because I know it's an annual thing, and I
Yeah.
think last year I thought, okay, next year I'm not going to miss it. So when I called and you said, well, I'm not feeling so good, I was like, well, I'll drop it off for you. No problem. And then Diane said, well, I called him too. And he said, you also reached out. So anyway, the poinsettia was put there
Yeah, I saw
in
that. I
your
got your
honor.
picture.
So yeah, no worries. Councilmember Route, over to you.
Hopefully my internet is working. All right. Mayor, council, residents, and staff, this has been a very hard month for a lot of individuals. As you understand that after, the state of our economy, the state of our health, I just want to just impress upon everyone to share a little cheer. I could see the internet like slowing up. Share a little cheer, be kind, smile at someone, because a lot of individuals, they don't know how they're going to pay their rent. They don't know how they're going to put the next food on the table for individuals, and people are losing people left and right. Our own council member was affected by COVID, and COVID is real. Please wear your mask, please. Protect yourself with your mask and protect other people. Lastly, I'll be hosting a listening session tomorrow at 7 p.m. Please visit my Facebook page to register for that listening session. It's for Ward 1 residents. I will send a written report to Acting Town Administrator Tonelli. It's just been really, really tough with deaths and COVID, and just trying to maintain work-life balance. I yield back.
Thank you for those words of encouragement, Councilmember Route, because you're absolutely right. People are really having a tough time out here, and any sort of joy, kindness we can pass on, I know people really do appreciate it, especially this time of year. Next on the list for council reports, we will move on to Councilmember Blunt.
Hi, good evening, everyone again. See you soon, Sean. I'm sorry, those of you, having COVID, and COVID is real. We're nervous. We don't know what to do, but you do know what to do. Follow the CDC guidelines. It's okay. You'll get through it. And again, I don't want to touch on it anymore, but I want you to be happy. And I wish everyone a happy holiday. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Blunt. You're right, it really is a real situation, and wearing a mask is a matter of saving your life or someone else's. It's not a political statement, so we all have to do our part. Next, we'll turn it over to Councilmember Lundy.
Good evening, everyone, Mayor and Council, and our residents and our staff. Also, I am sad to hear about that. Also, Councilmember Mendoza, and I do echo what my colleagues have said about the seriousness of COVID-19, just even in our own families, having to get people to take it seriously is interesting in itself. So I want to wish everyone also a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and all of that. And I don't have anything major to report at this time.
Great. Thank you so much, Councilmember Lundy. And I'll be brief and just submit the written report for details. But want to just tag on to something Councilmember Rao said, which is in the spirit of spreading cheer. I know Chief Sumner's gone, but we appreciate the little consistent things that we can do. Some of our town traditions that children of all ages look forward to, such as the fire truck coming through town. Or Officer Reinhardt recognizing that for the first time in 20 years, we can't have our traditional Yule log ceremony. However, it's not just the adults who are affected and depressed or feeling down, it's kids, our children who are down and dealing with distance learning, being separated or feeling isolated from their classmates, having challenges because now mommy or daddy or grandma or auntie has to be their teacher. um, it's just tough for a lot of people all the way around. So again, thank you, Officer Reinhardt, for coming up with that suggestion to do the Santa drive-by last week. And it's just one of the many reasons I'm grateful for the team that we have here, because you all do such a great job thinking outside of the box, trying to connect with the community. And it's definitely appreciated just seeing that legacy continue with our current team. And so I, again, will just leave my report to be posted on the website or shared when Mr. Tonelli pushes these out later in the week in our e-blast. And in looking down the agenda, we don't have any unfinished business items, nor do we have any new business items. So at this time, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Rout. Is there a second?
That second.
Seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. Happy
Good night,
holidays.
everyone.
You're
Merry
adjourned.
Christmas, everyone.
Bottom line is, people experience that all the time. People play games.